Sonnets by Charles Lamb. I. To Miss Kelly. You are not, Kelly, of the common strain, that stoop their pride and female honor down, to please that many-headed beast the town, and vend their lavish smiles and tricks for gain. By fortune thrown, amid the actor's train, you keep your native dignity of thought. The plaudits that attend you come unsought, as tributes due unto your natural vein. Your tears have passion in them and a grace of genuine freshness, which our hearts avow. Your smiles are winds whose ways we cannot trace, that vanish and return we know not how, and please the better from a pensive face, a thoughtful eye, and a reflecting brow. Roman 2. On the sight of swans, in Kensington Garden, queen bird that sittest on thy shining nest, and thy young cygnets without sorrow hatchest, and thou other royal bird that watchest, lest the white mother wandering feet molest, shrined are your offspring in a crystal cradle, brighter than Helen's ere she yet had burst her shelly prison, they shall be born at first, strong, active, graceful, perfect, swan-like, to tread the land or waters with security, unlike poor human births, conceived in sin, in grief brought forth, both outwardly and in, confessing weakness, error, and impurity, did heavenly creatures own succession's line, the births of heaven like to yours would shine. Roman 3. Was it some sweet device of fairy that mocked my steps with many a lonely glade, and fancied wanderings with a fair-haired maid? Have these things been, or what rare witchery, impregning with delights the charmed air, enlighted up the semblance of a smile? In those fine eyes, methought they spake the while, soft soothing things, which might enforce despair, to drop the murdering knife, and let go by his foul resolve. And does the lonely glade still court the footsteps of the fair-haired maid? Still in her locks the gales of summer sigh, while I forlorn do wander reckless where, and mid my wanderings meet no Anna there. Roman 4. Methinks how dainty sweet it were, reclined beneath the vast outstretching branches high of some old wood, in careless sort to lie, nor of the busier scenes we left behind aught envying, and O Anna, mild-eyed maid, beloved, I were well content to play with thy free tresses all a summer's day, losing the time beneath the greenwood shade. Or we might sit and tell some tender tale of faithful vows repaid by cruel scorn, a tale of true love or a friend forgot, and I would teach thee, lady, how to rail in gentle sort on those who practice not, or love or pity, though of woman born. V. When last I roved these winding woodwalks green winding walks, and shady pathways sweet, ofttimes would Anna seek the silent scene, shrouding her beauties in the lone retreat. No more I hear her footsteps in the shade, her image only in these pleasant ways meets me self-wandering, where in happier days I held free converse with the fair-haired maid. I passed the little cottage which she loved, the cottage which did once my all contain. It spake of days which ne'er must come again, spake to my heart, and much my heart was moved. Now fair befall thee, gentle maid, said I, and from the cottage turned me with a sigh. Roman 6. The family name. What reason first imposed thee, gentle name? Name that my father bore, and his sire's sire. Without reproach, we trace our stream no higher, and I, a childless man, may end the same. Perchance some shepherd on Lincolnian plains, in manners guileless as his own sweet flocks, received thee first amid the merry mocks and arch allusions of his fellow swains. Perchance from Salem's holier fields returned, with glory gotten on the heads abhorred of faithless Saracens, some martial lord took his meek title, in whose zeal he burned, whate'er the fount whence thy beginnings came. No deed of mine shall shame thee, gentle name. Roman 7. If from my lips some angry accents fell, peevish complaint, or harsh reproof unkind, 'twas but the error of a sickly mind, and troubled thoughts, clouding the purer well, and waters clear of reason. And for me, let this my verse the poor atonement be, my verse, which thou to praise wert ever inclined, too highly, and with a partial eye to see. No blemish, thou to me didst ever show, kindest affection, and would oft times lend an ear to the desponding lovesick lay. weeping my sorrows with me, who repay? But ill the mighty debt of love I owe. Mary, to thee, my sister and my friend. Roman 8. A timid grace sits trembling in her eye, as loath to meet the rudeness of men's sight, yet shedding a delicious lunar light, that steeps in kind, oblivious ecstasy, the care-crazed mind, like some still melody, speaking most plain the thoughts which do possess her gentle sprite, peace and meek quietness, and innocent loves, and maiden purity, a look whereof might heal the cruel smart of changed friends, or fortune's wrongs unkind, might to sweet deeds of mercy move the heart of him who hates his brethren of mankind. Turned are those lights from me, who fondly yet past joys, vain loves, and buried hopes regret. Roman 9. To John Lamb, Esquire of the Southsea House. John, you are figuring in the gay career of blooming manhood with a young man's joy, when I was yet a little peevish boy, though time has made the difference disappear betwixt our ages, which then seemed so great, and still by rightful custom you retain much of the old authoritative strain, and keep the elder brother up in state. Oh, you do well in this, 'tis man's worst deed, to let the things that have been run to waste, and in the unmeaning present sink the past, in whose dim glass even now I faintly read old buried forms and faces long ago, which you and I and one more only know. X. Oh, I could laugh to hear the midnight wind, that rushing on its way with careless sweep, scatters the ocean waves, and I could weep, like to a child, for now to my raised mind, on wings of winds comes wild-eyed fantasy, and her rude visions give severe delight. O winged bark, how swift along the night pass they proud keel, nor shall I let go lightly of that drear hour the memory, when wet and chilly on thy deck I stood, unbonneted, and gazed upon the flood, even till it seemed a pleasant thing to die, to be resolved into elemental wave, or take my portion with the winds that rave. We were two pretty babes, the youngest she, the youngest and the loveliest far, I ween, and innocence her name, the time has been. We two did love each other's company. Time was, we two had wept to have been apart. But when by show of seeming good beguiled, I left the garb and manners of a child, and my first love for man's society, defiling with the world my virgin heart, my loved companion dropped a tear, and fled, and hid in deepest shades her awful head. Beloved, who shall tell me where thou art? In what delicious Eden to be found, that I may seek thee the wide world around?